What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another tutorial here with Gonz Tutorials, your teacher, Mr. Gonzalez. Alright guys, so in this tutorial, you can see there's kind of a lot of things that I feel are going on right now, but it's not as confusing as you may think, but it will require some time to kind of understand what I'm actually doing. But essentially, let me play this for you. YouTube, educational purposes. Do not ban my YouTube video. So here's what it is.
Sometimes I'm the guy with the ball.
Alright, so as you guys can see right there, the pictures are being faded in using, hopefully you know, and they're also getting bigger as the picture's playing throughout its time using, hopefully you know, starts with an S. Yeah, scale. Alright, so with that being said, all the pictures pretty much do that, right? So they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we have 5 pictures in total. Now, I will provide these pictures for you guys. I will provide the song. And you guys can follow along step by step if you feel it's too hard, too confusing, too complicated. If you feel like this is kind of easy and it's not as complicated as you may think, you can go ahead and grab your own pictures, so long as they're HD 1080p or bigger, and then grab your own song and then follow along to your own music of your choice and your own stuff, you know, the way you want it, right? So then we head over to text, which is this part right here. This is where you can get a little bit confusing. I'm gonna close all this up. So in here we've got a black layer, which makes the images appear darker, right? We've got letters that come out, and they each have kind of like this little effect that's going on with them, and they eventually fade away. I'm not done with it, so we'll do that together. But here is how you would see this one. Now if you see that it's kind of like the song's getting kind of weird and it's like stretching out or something like that, that's just because the computer needs to, you know, turn everything green here. It needs to render everything out before it can actually play it correctly. Other than that, I mean, otherwise it's just gonna like mess up and not come out as it should. So let's go ahead and play this real quick so you can see.
Sometimes I'm the guy with the boys kicking it back, or the guy with a guitar singing on a country track. I might be the guy with an ice cold can stirring up dust on some old farmland. When I walk into the party with you, girl, you change all that. And I'm just the guy with the girl everybody wants to know, wishing you were there.
And we can make that one go away, and so on and so forth. We are working with roughly, give or take, about 1 minute, so más o menos. And yeah, so let me see real quick around how big is this song or picture. About 13 seconds. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and start this from the very beginning. So first thing you want to do is, let me just go ahead and save this one. I'll save as. I'm gonna save this into Blake Shelton. New folder. Call this one working files. Put it in here, and I'm gonna title this one Blake Shelton Text Effects Tutorial 1. Save it. You don't have to put tutorial 1, that's just me because this is my tutorial. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start a new project so I can get rid of all this and I can show you all the little secrets. With the new project, the first thing I'm gonna do is go to File, Save As. go to my working files. I'm gonna title this one Blake Shelton Text Effects Tutorial 2. Now obviously you don't put tutorial 2, you just put text effects with whatever artist you choose, or Blake Shelton if you decide to use him. So just go ahead and save that. Cool. So now you can see up here that it says Blake Shelton text effect. All right, cool. So now we're going to import our images. We can go ahead and double click in here. Boom, boom, right there. Blake Shelton. Awesome. Files used. Cool. So we have 2 folders right here, images and music. One thing to keep in mind here is that if you double click, you can import all these images, right? But I want to be a little bit more organized. So I'm going to just select the folder, and right here it says import folder. I can import the whole thing. So let's go ahead and put import folder. Boom. Right there. Perfect. In that folder, we have all our images. And it stays nice and organized. Double click again. Boom, boom. Blake Shelton. Files used. Music. Import folder. Awesome. Now we have our music set up. We're all good to go. So let's continue. Next thing we have to do is our composition. So we're going to right click, new composition. We're going to title this images. Make sure it's HD TV 1080p 29.97. So this one right here. 1920 by 1080 29.97. Resolution, you can put that at 1/4 because this is going to be a little bit more harder on the computer to try to work. So let's leave it at 1/4 and I'll explain what that is later. And then as far as duration, we're going to go ahead and put 2 minutes on the table. So 2 0 0 0 0. Perfect. So you can also put, what is that, 20,000. So you can type it like that, or you can type 20,000 like that and press OK. Awesome. So now we have our composition and we need to start putting our images. We're not even gonna mess with this. We're doing all this in one go. All right, you ready for this? If you select the first one, you hold shift, right, and then click on number 5. You select all of them. Perfect. Drag. Well, what's happening here? You drag all of them in here. Boom, right there. All of them here in one go. Perfect. That's what we want. We're gonna go here and we're gonna type 13 15. Boom. That's what we want. Perfect. All of them selected. Don't deselect anything. If you do deselect, just select all of them again. You can hold shift, or you can grab from here and just grab all of them like that. We're at 13.5. Come all the way to the end. Make sure that you see those little arrows, right? Once you see the little arrows, bring all of them. Check that out. Perfect. All of them resized at the same time. Nothing to it. Perfect, 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 perfect. All right. So now that we have all the images right here, and they're all 1315, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and work to make them all fade in and fade out at the same time. So make sure you select all of them selected. Press T. That's going to open up opacity for all of them. Click on the stopwatch of any one of them, but very important, before you do so, make sure that you bring your timer all the way to 0. Then click on the stopwatch. Once you have keyframes all at the very beginning, we're going to set all of them to 0. Awesome. Now they're all set to 0. Perfect. Perfecto. Now we're going to head over to 300 because we want to be around 3 seconds, más o menos, give or take, you know. And then click 100. That's going to add it to all of them. They all now go from 0 to 100 all at the same time. Now what we want to do is individually, you can use the little mountains down here. This is going to be your zoom in and zoom out for your timeline. So if I do this, I can zoom in a little bit, right? And now what I want to do is just bring all these images and then just make them kind of start and end with the image, just like that. Y'all see what I'm doing? So that's where we're going to set this up. Perfect. Now I'm going to zoom out, and I want this to end about at one minute. Oops, sorry. Oh my God, right here. 1 0 0 0 0. Perfect. All right, yes, there. Okay, so notice how my pictures, they don't end there yet. They, you know, they take a little longer to get to that spot. So I'm gonna select all of them one more time. And I'm gonna grab them and then move them like that. Perfect. Now they all kind of, you know, fade in, they go. We play the next one, and the next one, and so on. Now, here's one of the issues that we're running into. And again, if you download images for yourself, this is some of the issues you might run into. One of the issues we have here is image number 3. It's not fitting in the screen. So remember, you can right click, go to transform, and put fit to width. And just kind of move this guy down a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to go and test the other ones. This one, too big. So we're going to right click, transform, fit to width. Perfect. Look at that. We have this guy. This guy looks like it fits, but let's just make sure, double check, fit to comp. Perfect. Now it fits. For sure, everything's good. So far, everything is good. Pretty simple, right? Easy peasy, nothing to it. We do want to start making this get bigger as they play through, because this looks kind of boring, right? So for this, we're going to go ahead and hold all of them. You can grab all of them like that. Press T to hide that. And then press S to bring up scale. We're going to start at the very beginning with this one. Click on scale. Take it to the very end of the picture. And set it to, you know, make it go bigger by 50% or by 50, you know. So this is 100, make it go to 150. Select the next one. Go to the beginning of this picture. Click scale. Go to the end of the picture. And set it to 150. Same thing here. Go to the beginning of this picture. Click on the stopwatch. Go to the end of this picture. And since this is 128, we'll just go to 160. Right there. Bring the same thing here. Click scale. Bring it this way. And set about 130. Okay, maybe not 130 because that's too big. So let's just go 100. Yeah, that's good. Then this picture starts coming out. So same thing with this one. Scale. Starts at 85. Let's just go to around 115. And again, this is up to you. It doesn't really quite matter. As long as it doesn't go super big and stuff like that. We want it to be moving slowly, not super fast. So now we have all that. Now notice that all these pictures go through and then there's a bunch of black. We don't need all this stuff. So we're going to make this a lot smaller. By selecting right here, this is where it ends. We're going to move our little blue bar right here. You should put your mouse and it should say work area end. You can grab that and bring it in. Once it's there at the end, then you can right click on it and put trim comp to the work area. What this is doing is it's making all the useless part, it's taking it away. That way you only keep the necessary parts. So delete that, get rid of it. And we're good. Awesome. We now have our pictures and our pictures are done. Pretty good so far, guys. We're moving nicely. All right. So now we got to make our new composition. Right click, new composition. We're going to call this one text. Make sure everything's the same. Yes, yes, yes. All good. I'll press OK. Cool. So we're going to grab our image composition and drag it in here. Boom. There we go. Again, notice how it's small. We don't need all the useless information. So let's bring it here. Right click, trim to comp area. Perfect. All right, cool. So now we're left with the text that we need to put onto these images. But our images are very bright. And when we put in the text, we won't be able to see them that well. So what we're going to do is right click down here in this area. We're going to put new and add a new solid. That's going to allow us to put a color, right? And I'm going to go with black, or maybe like a dark gray kind of color right there. Dark gray solid. Now I press OK. If it doesn't show up on top of the pictures, like if it shows up like that, put it on top of the pictures. Just drag it up. And then we're going to click opacity, T for opacity, but we're not going to add a keyframe. We want it just to be the same throughout the whole thing. Set that to 40%. And now our images are kind of darker. You see? We can maybe even put it at like 60% if we wanted to and have the images play kind of dark in the background. But I think 40 works pretty good. Now that we have that, we're going to start adding our text. Now here's how I want you guys to do yours. I want the name of the artist to be included somewhere. Depending on the song, you know, you might have to add it at the end, or you might have to add it in the middle, or something like that. This song starts off with music and then the lyrics. So in my case, I'm going to start typing his name, which is Blake Shelton. I'm going to go ahead and type right here. Type Blake Shelton. Awesome. And grab my selection tool right here. And then this allows me to move it into the center. I actually like the way it looks right here in the center. It looks pretty cool. And when then this comes out, it might be okay. Maybe not so much because, you know, the image, right? But it's okay. For now, we're just working with the effects of this, right? So we have Blake Shelton, super cool. The letters look good. I have already chosen this font beforehand, but you're welcome to come down here and choose your font yourself, right? Just make sure you're under characters. Oops, sorry. And then just choose your font, you know, whichever one you want. Go through it, whatever you like, and choose it, right? Now we need to add the effects. And this is where stuff gets a little tricky. Here, I'm going to go ahead and go down here to where it says search. I'm going to type bridge. Open that up. And then this should open. This little guy right here. Depending on how you have it, it might look a little different, right? So there's essentials, library, film strip, different ways to see all this. So I'm going to just go to essentials. Go over to drive C right here. Double click. Go to program files. Double click. Head into Adobe. Double click. Adobe After Effects, double click. Support files, double click. In here, I'm looking for presets right here, double click. And then in here, you have a couple of different things that you can use. We're going to be working with text, so double click. And in here, you have a bunch of different things that you can choose from. So let's say, for example, blurs. You see all these, and you can see a preview of what they do. So blur by word. Bullet train, evaporate. That looks kind of cool. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Bullet train brings words in. Evaporate takes words out. So that looks kind of cool to me, right? So I'm gonna come back to After Effects right here. Make sure I'm at 0 right here, 0, and make sure I have Blake Shelton selected. If you want to make this a little bit easier for you, you see how this thing right here is red? You can click on it, and I'm gonna make my text be purple. That way I don't confuse it. And then this solid and whatever, I'll make it be that kind of yellow color down there, so I know that not to mess with those. I don't need those. So at 0, I'm gonna search here for bullet train. Drag bullet train in here and put it in there. Now check this out. That looks pretty cool, right? And as this song is playing, I will go ahead and I'll put it here, maybe around 4 seconds, right around here. I will add evaporate, evaporate right here. And then I'll add it right there at 5 seconds. Now, this is kind of important. When you have it held, you can press U, the letter U, not Y-O-U, just U. Press U, and then that'll open up all your keyframes. Notice this. This effect, when you press play, by here, it's done. The effect is completed. If you want the effect to go slower, what do you think you have to do with the keyframes? I want this to last longer. Think about it for a second. What would I have to do? If you said, grab this keyframe and move it over here, that is correct. That'll make the effect go a lot slower, depending on how you want it. I'm gonna leave it just where it's at for me, it's fine. But if I were to say something like, this effect starts too soon and it takes too long, I can move it. I can select both keyframes. I can make it start at the very end, make it start at the very beginning, make it start wherever I want, make it faster or make it shorter, all by moving the keyframe around. So I'm gonna keep that just like so, right? So that's that. I feel that took too long. So I'm gonna put it around here somewhere. And then fades away. Perfect. And then right around here, the next picture should pop out. Yeah, cool. So in order for me to work with the next part of the animation, I need my music. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab my music, grab the song, put it down here. And now, if you want to, you can open it up and see the waveforms, but I don't really need the waveforms. I just need to like listen to the lyrics.
Sometimes.
Stop it. Right around there, he says, sometimes, and I don't know the rest of the song, but that's okay because we have the internet. Right here is the internet. All right. So sometimes I'm the guy with the boys kicking it back. Copy. Get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Grab your letter T. Click somewhere in here. So Blake Shelton's right there. Be careful with this because every time you do this, it's going to want to type. You see how like right here, it's giving me the little square with the little icon, but over here, it's not. That's because it wants to type on Blake Shelton. So I'm going to go ahead and press lock so that I can't do anything to it. That one's done. We're done with it. We don't need it anymore. So lock that one up and then click right here. And I'm just going to put Control V, like Vaca or Valerie, and then press Control V. That pastes the fonts, right? Notice the fonts are really big, so I'm gonna go ahead and select Control A. That selects everything. Control A. I'll make my font smaller. And I'll change my fonts because I don't like that one. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. So here, I'm going to go ahead and move my letters. And I'll be like, sometimes I'm the guy. So select the letter T. And I'm going to click right in between this. I'll press enter. Sometimes I'm the guy. Move it more to the center. With the boys. And then I'm going to press here and press that. Sometimes, maybe, sometimes. Press enter. Sometimes I'm the guy with the boy kicking back. Man, maybe just like that. Maybe just 2 lines. This is completely up to you. And then also, if you're choosing to do your own song, then it's definitely up to you. You know, you choose how you want to do this. But I'm gonna put this font right down here. Right, cool. So now I'm gonna go back to Bridge. I'm gonna go back. Instead of blurs, I'm going to go to text. Let's go to animate in. And we can see some of these things. So that's kind of crazy. That one's okay. That one's by letters or words. That's kind of cool, actually. What's this one called? espresso eye chart. So go back to After Effects. Go to Effects and Presets and type espresso. And right here, espresso eye chart. Drag this, put it in here. And notice all those words are there. And okay, so here we have a problem. All those words are there from the very beginning, and we don't want that. So I wanted to start
Sometimes
right around here where it says sometimes, right? Right around here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come all the way to the beginning until you see those little arrows. I'm gonna drag this and put it right there. That way nothing shows up.
Sometimes I'm the guy with the boys kicking it back.
Now that's cool, but it doesn't really go with my music. So I'm gonna go ahead and press U, and I'm gonna put this right at the beginning, or maybe even go past it. We don't want this to show up before, but we don't mind the effects starting.
Sometimes I'm the guy with the boys kicking it back.
That's okay, I guess, right there, right? We could, if we want to take it a step further, and again, hopefully y'all can start messing around with this a little bit, but we can press T and set opacity to 0 right here at the beginning.
Sometimes
Right around here. Oh, sorry, I didn't set it to 0. My bad. Set it to 0. Right here, this will be 100. And then it's just gonna kind of start.
Sometimes I'm the guy with the boys kicking it back.
I'll pause it right there. Now we'll go to bridge. And since these are animate ins, I'm gonna look for some animate outs. Let's see what we have here. Fade out slow. That's kind of cool. Well, that's nice. And come here, search for fade out slow. Right here. And I'm gonna drag it and put it right there. Because I wanted to, wherever you add this effect, that's where your effect will start. So
I'm the guy with the boys kicking it back.
give it some time and stop it. And then right there, that's where I wanted to fade out.
Or the guy with a guitar singing on a country track.
Now I'm gonna be skipping one line each time, but you guys determine. I want one line per picture. So just keep that in mind. If you want to add the whole song, that's fine, but one line per picture, that's what I'm looking for. So this new picture's coming out.
I might be the guy with
I might be the guy with something. So let's open it up. I might be the guy with a nice cold can stirring up dust on some old farmland. Copy that. Come here. Lock my text here because I'm done with that one. Grab the letter T. Click and put paste. Control A so I can select all of them. I'm going to choose a different font because I don't really like that one anymore. It's too big. Big noodles. That's kind of cool. Press T right here. Bring it. By the way, I have mine currently set to center. If yours are not set to center, you can go to a line. Sorry, to paragraph, and you can center, right, left, whatever you want right here. I have it set to center. And then go to characters again. Put this right around here. And let's see what else we have. Let's go to bridge. Let's go to text. Let's go to 3D text, right? This looks kind of interesting here. Oh, that's nice. That's to go out. That's to come in. I want something that kind of comes in by words instead of letters. Or that might actually be kind of cool. But it looks like it's starting from somewhere, so that might give us an issue. Let's see. 3D rotate. Let's go into effects. 3D rotate by word. Let's add it. Oh, wait. Before we add it, we need to make sure it starts where it needs to.
Singing on a country track. I might be
Right here. Right around there. So we can bring this guy in here. Didn't do anything.
I might be the guy with an ice cold kick.
Okay, that's to get rid of it. So let's Control Z. Right? We don't want that one. But we do want rotate 3D rotate out by word, 3D rotate in by character. So let's bring it here.
I might be the guy with an ice cold can.
Okay, so this one finished very quickly, and I've been waiting for one to do this because we need to fix it. We're gonna click here and press U, and again, look at your keyframes, right? So
Country track.
this is perfect because it's starting right there.
I might be the guy with an ice cold can, stirring up dust on some old farmland.
Land ends right here, so this guy needs to end with farmland right here. Now it'll kind of go with the music.
I might be the guy with an ice cold can, stirring up dust on some old farmland.
See, perfect. And now we can go ahead and animate or rotate out.
When I
You know what? To spice it up, we're gonna put this one here in the center and rotate out, and you'll see why right now. So notice how this one, the two little circles, means that we have an effect, but we can't see the keyframe, so we're gonna press U and then U again. Now we see it. We don't want it to leave before.
I might be the guy with an ice cold can, stirring up dust on
See, that
some
messed
old.
everything up. We want it to end after everything shows up, but we want it to start fading out somewhere in the middle. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Let me show you what I mean.
Country
So
track.
it's playing it.
I'll be the guy with an ice
Right
cold
around
can,
here, it's gonna start taking it away from the top.
stirring up dust on some old farmland. When I walk into the party with
Perfect. Because we're messing around with these, right?
you, you change all that. And I'm just a guy.
So this one's I'm just a guy. So we're gonna come here and put I'm just a guy with the girl everybody wants to know. Copy that. And we're gonna come over here to After Effects. Lock this one because we're done with it.
Party with you, girl, you change all that. And I'm just a guy. And I
So right around here at 35, press T, grab this, paste it. This font I like a little better, so I will keep this one. Press T, oops, sorry. Grab the letter T, and then press here. I'm just a guy with the girl, enter. Everybody wants to know. So this part, I'll put it down here in the corner. And if you don't want to use bridge and you kind of just want to experiment with these, you can actually delete that and then just kind of come in here and see what you can find under animate presets, text. And you have a lot of stuff that you can play around with. Curves, Dust Devil. Let's see what that does.
And I'm just a guy.
Whoa, what is that? Alright, that's kind of cool, but it doesn't help us with anything. So Control Z, right? I guess I'll just go to bridge and go back to text, and I'll go to, what was that? Curves and spines. Bloom, interesting. Like clockwork. That's kind of cool. Clockwise entry. So let's go ahead and use that one. It's right here. Clockwise entry. Drag it into this one.
And I'm just the guy with the
Right there, stop it. This is where he says the word no. So again, we can press U. Ooh, this one's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna zoom in using our little mountains right here. Zoom in. And we're going to move these this way. This is position, and apparently each one of these is doing something. Which is fine. Yeah, so we don't have to move the position. The position's fine. I'm just gonna play this one more time so we can see it.
And I'm just the guy with
And then we can do something to like take it out. So let's go back to bridge and see something that, you know, spirals outwards, like leaves. Like that one. Spiral exit. Oh, perfect. It even says the word exit. That one's in here too, so we can grab this one and we can just be like,
girl, everybody
right around here, we're gonna put spiral exit.
wants to know, wishing you were there.
Perfect. And then
How I ever got your little hand.
and one more line that you get to use. So wondering how I ever got my little hand in mine. That one. And you can add it and then choose whatever effect you want. Now, if you were following along to my tutorial, you could easily use the same effects that I was doing or use your own effects. Preferably, I would like for you to try your own effects. But if you didn't, that's okay, because I just want you guys to practice this, kind of know how it all works. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions throughout this, but let's say we are done here, right? We lock this one and you do your last picture as well. Make sure you do your last picture. But once we're done, this is the entire assignment, right? Right here, it's called text. We're going to go ahead and go to composition, add to media encoder, and let's wait for media encoder to go ahead and open up. And while it's opening up, I'm just going to make sure to tell you guys, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure to like, comment, and let me know what you guys think. And if you want to see more of this, make sure you turn on notifications. I'm just messing with you guys. It's open though. So now we're just gonna wait right here so that our actual assignment can pop up, which should be in a second right now. There it is. And so from here, we just need to make sure we click on these blue letters so we can choose where this is going. So we're gonna go into working files right here, Blake Shelton. We're gonna add a new folder. We're gonna call this finished files. And then just go ahead and click in there. We're gonna title it text effects Blake Shelton, and you can name it text effects, you know, Eminem or Drake, or I don't know, some of you guys, what was that? I don't know, Little Easy or Woozy or whatever. Text effects, and then just click save. Then we're gonna click play, and that's it, guys. After it does that, you guys can go ahead and submit that up to Schoology. And as always, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys on the next tutorial with me, Gonz Tutorials. Peace out.